No, you're not allowed to delete it. Ever. Oh, cool. Yeah, if you if you download the PaintWithJosh app, you are never allowed to delete it. Hey, everybody, welcome in. I've got a big canvas today. So I'm going to start putting on my liquid clear on my black canvas while you guys are hanging out, listening to me whine about my tattoo still being sore. And the more that I shake my arm around, the less I forget that it is there, the more I remember. And you know what? That still stings. So we've got a big 24-inch by 30-inch Pro Series black canvas, right? Now you can't get them black. You have to put that black gesso on there prior. But what you do, you can turn it into a really nice black canvas. This is one of those big Pro Series galleries, and my arms are already tired. I'm not even halfway done. It's going. How about having the right? Literally, if you have too much, then it's too much. If you don't have enough, then you're going to struggle harder to put it on. That's what you want. Oh, God. I've done like 40% maybe, and I'm already exhausted. Let's just turn the... Can we just go home? Let's just go home. No, I have to paint. Yeah, seriously. I thought painting was supposed to be fun. I just tell everyone painting is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be. So it's your job. It's like everything else. It becomes your job. Oh, I have a good time. Sure, my arm is tired. That just means I need to lift more weights. Oh, we're already starting. Oh. Goodness gracious, you guys. This is a big canvas. It's funny, I wonder if anybody, like when they rewatch the tutorial, even watch this part, like they just think I'm not talking or anything. Oh, to their surprise. Oh, my arm. Oh, dude. It's still got room to cover. With a 40 flat. Hey, everybody. Oh, it hurts. I can't wait for the next couple days when this is no longer so sore. For goodness sake, that hurts. Okay, so we're getting our liquid clear, like I was saying during the splash page. If you ever want to know just what's on Josh's mind before the show starts, tune in right at the beginning, and you'll hear me talking. You won't see anything yet because we got that splash page up there, but you'll hear me talking. And you never know what I'm going to be talking about. Well, what did I say the topic was going to be for today? What were we talking about before? Oh, yeah, okay. I remember now. So, very first thing you guys have to do before we get into Josh's weird topic of the day, right? But you got to tell me where you're watching from out there in the night, right? From around the country, around the world. We've got PaintWithJosh followers everywhere. Now prove me right and tell me where you're watching from. Okay, let's see. I think I've got this entire canvas all done up and crazy. So let's see where we got people from. We've got people from everywhere. Yeah. We got people from Oklahoma, Chicago, Colorado, Knoxville, Tennessee. Come on, everybody. Start checking in the night. We got Oregon out there, Tennessee, bigger canvas. Someone says, hey, I love watching your videos. I love watching your videos. I'm so dyslexic. I love watching your videos. It inspired me to get back into painting. South Wales, UK. Thank you. Another person checking in from the UK. Texas, Kansas City, Wyoming, Missouri, Chicago, Texas, UK over on the YouTube. Cyprus over there. That's how the comments look on Facebook now?
I just condensed them. So
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they are much easier to read. We got Hutchinson, Kansas, Buffalo, Ireland. We got people watching from literally everywhere. You guys like the new ink? It's still very sore. Very sore. On Twitch? Yeah, let's see. If there's anybody watching on Twitch, let us know, man. We've got like 100 followers on Twitch. Oh, it's very sad. We don't even mention Twitch because there's so few. That's what we did with Instagram. Can you believe? Let me first let's wipe off this canvas. What's up? Yeah, let's just cook for a minute here. But would you believe, right? Instagram now is my largest following. It's 1.149, something like that. 1.149 million followers, right? So almost 1.2, basically, right? And in the beginning, we didn't even put Instagram on my business cards. Like, I didn't even list it as a place to follow me because we had like 300 followers. Literally. It was the smallest of all of my platforms. And then all of a sudden, just rocketed to 1.149 after, I don't know, 6 years, right? So, yeah, don't get discouraged if you're down, you know, if you only got a few or a couple thousand or whatever. All it takes is that one video to go crazy, and then people start following you, right? At least how it's happened with me. So we do have one other question, the crazy topic of today, okay? I have two topics on my mind. I was going to go with one last night, but I'm going to change it up this time. And I'm going to, oh my word, we're going to have to put on so much blue and purple paint. So we're going to take our blue, our ultramarine blue, and just overload this whole canvas. But here's the wild thought of the day. I had seen a TikTok video where someone had asked, okay, if a turtle, right, loses its shell, and I want you to think about this, okay? If a turtle loses its shell, okay, is the turtle homeless or is it naked? Like, which one? Because I think, I just want you to think about it for a minute, right, before I even tell you what I think. London and I differ in this answer, right? Just like yesterday's answer. But I think you've had enough time to think about it and answer, right? What do you guys think? Watching from Australia. Thank you for tuning in over there. Alma says both. Come on, Okie. Right? Okay, but let's just imagine that it isn't. Okay? Let's say that it can pop out of its shell. Okay? Right? So I would think it would be, you know, clothless because the shell is not its home, right? Like it's its protective covering from predators and the outside world. So let's just say we had a special turtle that was able to come out of its shell. I would figure he would come in like a teenage turtle. He's coming out of his shell. He's growing his character. But I would think that it would be, you know, clothless versus homeless because the shell is not its home, right? Turtle soup. You guys, we're trying to, it's a hypothetical question over here. I'm going to take a little of my purple as well. Yeah, right? Depends on how hungry they are. But no, so I was just thinking, I saw that video and I was like, I mean, to me, it would be clothless because, yeah, ugly, because the shell is not necessarily its home. Like, I'm sure a turtle has a place where it likes, to go. This is what I was saying to London earlier. I was like, I'm explaining my argument. I'm sure a turtle has a place where, you know, its food is, so it'll go eat in one place, and then it might sleep in an area, and then it might, you know, like poo in it. It's not pooing in its shell. So the shell can't be the home. You got to have a place to lay and sleep, you know what I mean? Place to use the restroom and a food source. That is home. Okay. But in either case, yeah, I was proven wrong. Yeah, I was proven wrong because apparently the turtles don't even care. They'll just poop in their water bowl. They don't even care where to go. So it was a bad example all the way around. But I thought it was a funny thing, so we can bring it up. Deer is a real thing, right? The reason for a deer crossing is because deer will bed in one area, which might be on one side of the road, and they will wake up in the morning and they will go cross the road and go eat in another area, right? Which is why my turtle theory was how it was, because I was figuring the same thing. You know what I mean? Like a turtle's gonna wake up, it's gonna like come out of its shell. You know what I mean? Like stretch. Maybe go take a poo. Like go dip in the lake and get some food. You know what I mean? Like just like a human would. Is how I was thinking of it. But yeah, it's funny either way. We're not talking about the shower thing. We'll leave that for later in the show. That was the second topic. Well, we can't talk about that until after the half hour. But somebody remind me. Yes, after the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl halftime show, then remind me, and I might bring up that shower topic because that's a funny one too. Okay, I'm taking my blue. What? I don't know. I spoke to two people. They said that I shower weirdly, or like stand weirdly in the shower. I mean, but a hermit crab, it does.
But a turtle or a tortoise,
Yeah, but a hermit crab doesn't also poop in its shell.
it might. They don't.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a crabologist,
Or a turtle.
except for when it's going into my mouth. Then I'm a crabologist. There we go. Okay, so we're taking our blue paint and our purple paint. We've kind of put it everywhere across this thing. And then I put blue down here because this is where I want my kind of thinner, shiny water. So I'll put a little bit more of my blue over here. And you can see we're just pulling in horizontal swipes, but we're getting taller up on the canvas. You know what I mean? Or horizontally, getting lower and lower and lower. I'm not making a diagonal stripe like this. Don't do this, okay? We want to go sideways, 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 and just getting higher up on the canvas or lower down on the canvas. Now I've got so much blue and purple in my brush that if I were to try to put brown sand down there, it really wouldn't come out. So let's wash off that brush. You guys, if you stick around to the second half of the show, then you'll hear the next topic of conversation. But I'm glad that all of you turtologists out there in the comments were able to tell us what was going on. So Rick, why are you so confused, bro? It's the Paint with Josh show. Do we ever do things like normally or correctly? Never. Okay. So as you can see, I'm taking my blue and my purple, that dioxazine purple and the ultramarine blue, and just put it all over the canvas, okay? Never exactly right. Exactly right. What? How can you stand weird in the shower? You'll figure it out, Elizabeth, if you hang out until after the second commercial break. I'm going to take my raw umber, that nasty, very dark brown color. It's already got a bit of skin on the pile. There we go. And we're going to take that guy from the very bottom, okay? And when you put it on, all these colors seem very black still, right? We don't see a lot of bright color on this canvas, and that's exactly what I want. We're using what they call transparent colors, which means that when you put them on a black canvas, they look black. If we go across any area of white canvas, which we don't have any, then it would look bright blue or bright brown or bright purple, you know what I mean? But because we're on a black canvas and we're using transparent colors, these colors will stay looking very dark, but clearly you can see there is paint going on there. And now we're about to light it all up. This is the part where I usually would cut out this whole part of the beginning of the show, and I would do this all prior so that, you know, right when we turned on the live, we could instantly start painting and nobody would scroll away and all of that stuff. And that would be totally helpful for me, right? Not for you, because you guys always want to know every step that we're doing, right? So in the beginning of some of these videos, it might be a little slow because I'm showing you literally every step that we've taken to get to where we are right now. So that when we get up here with our white paint, right after this first commercial break, of course, then we'll be able to really ignite all these colors. So as you can see, we've only used ultramarine blue, our dioxazine purple in the sky and the water, and then our Van Dyke brown against the bottom of the canvas. So our horizon will be just about half. So we've got a little bit of blue, purple, a lot more blue down here and less purple, and then a lot brown at the bottom. So a lot of brown anyway. So you guys hang out through this quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back after these words. What's wrong, dude? I'm trying to book my Paint with Josh class. Oh, that's simple. He's got an app. What do you mean he has an app? You didn't know? Everybody has an app, you dummy. It's gonna be way better. Where's my phone? Dude, are you for real? Everything's on an app now. Show me how this works. Show me now. Show me now. I'll show you how it works. Let me get my phone, hang on. Dude, booking the classes is easy. I use my Paint with Josh app to get notified when the show goes live. And then if I wanted to purchase the paintings doing live on the show, I'm going to tap the menu button, click buy the live painting, and boom, it will appear. All I have to do is add it to my cart, and here we go. Dude, this is like way easier, and I love that it notifies me before the show starts, because half the time TikTok doesn't even do that. It tells me after he's already finished. Bro, same, I feel that. I always get the notification at like 6:20 and he's already done by then. Yeah, no, thanks, dude. I'm gonna book my acrylic class right now. Oh, thanks, dude. I wonder who like talks like that. Like that's like one of my characters, dude. So, yeah, it's Josh, Jawsh. I love that guy. Now, let's get out here with a little touch of white. Now, let's say, right, you think you've got just the right amount, even though I'm telling you right now, grab half of whatever you think the right amount is. And even when you think you've got half, wipe it off on your palette, right? So there's just residue of paint up here. Now, let's come out here on the right-hand side. Bang! If we pop it up against the canvas, just a weird little smush, right? Then it's going to be more natural. We want it to grow and extend. So if we put a lot of really, really, really heavy, bright paint up there, it's going to extend and grow a lot because I'm pushing it very hard here. I want it to dissipate with all the other colors in the sky. Doesn't have to be a specific shape. I'm not using the whole brush, just using the corner of it. It's pushing really, really hard on it. Now let's get, you know what, let's do a small moon. Sometimes I think bigger canvas, bigger moon, right? Nah, if we do a small little moon, it's gonna look much more realistic. So let's take a small, like micro filbert brush, little teeny tiny. This is from a brand called Bomeija, or Bomeija, Bomeija. Bomeija. I don't know, that's how I'm pronouncing it. And that is the number 5. It's very, very, very small. I can't even remember how small they go, but it's very small compared to your normal brush. Sorry? No, I bought this one a long time ago. When I... Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, if it was sent to me and I couldn't pronounce the name, that would be very bad. I do. I'm very dyslexic. Okay. Well, yeah, I'd be like, Homabia. No, that's wrong. Bomeija, that's it. Okay, so let's take that filbert brush, very small. You can see it would, like, you could fit 6 of them inside my little pinky, right? So we'll come out here, we'll plop it flat against the canvas, give it a high 5, so we're pushing it very flat, and then I'll try to stay out of your way as we rotate it around into a little circle, right? The bigger the brush, bigger the circle's gonna be, right? The bigger your moon, the bigger and brighter your scene has to be, I guess. The smaller it is, the more realistic it's gonna look. You don't need to, the bigger it is, let's say this, the bigger it is, the more you have to pay attention to it, right? The smaller it is, no one's really gonna care. They're gonna look and be like, oh, cool, I like the moon now. What'd you say, Lynn? Oh, I got you. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more of our white paint, right? We need a little more paint this time. So again, grab about half of whatever you think is right, except this time we're not going to wipe it onto the palette. And I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna start pushing and smooth. Look at how much the brush is shaking, right? Pushing it, mushing it, twisting it over, dragging it up here, and just pop it out into the night. Now, whatever colors are underneath, this one's a little bit more purpley in this section and fades up to a little bit more blue, right? Now, when I get up here and start to mix it, it may disappear very quickly because there may be a lot of blue or a lot of purple on my canvas, right? And all that white paint that I just put up there is just getting swallowed up. Just boom, it's gone. You know what I mean? It's mixing away instantly. Maybe there's not enough purple or blue in your sky. And so your cloud is very faint and very white, very bright white, right? The more you put up there, the brighter it gets because you don't have enough of that undercolor to allow the white to blend down and turn into something different, right? So now I've got a little bit more white on the brush. Let's get up here and allow this little bright area to blend backwards, right? I'm putting the color up here kind of randomly, just slopping it up there, right? I'm gonna dab off my brush. I almost need a step stool because this canvas is so big. I hope they can't see me standing on my tippy toes on Twitch. Okay, good. Because I'm literally standing on my tippy toes to get this tall. And I've lowered the whole easel down. This canvas is very large. Now, a little bit more because I want to think, okay, if I'm bright up here, maybe I might catch just a little bit of bright right there. Bang. Doesn't have to be the same amount of bright. I can make my cloud extend. I could do whatever I want. Maybe that's too dark. I pop a little bit of bright in there. Just watch what happens when you start to mix it. All this paint starts to grow. Look at how far I can get it to go. All the way off the canvas if I want to. I can push, push, push until it's all the way over there, right? That little spot turned into a cool little thing in between this. Now let's say you don't like that spot. Drag down and just cover half of it up, right? Try not to make it an oval. Try to make it some weird little splotch out there. And you might like it a little bit more. Maybe I push a little harder and get that paint to grow further. You know what I mean? How much do I want to shine back here? Because the more that I mix a very, very, very faint amount of that white back there, you can still see some haze, but it's not as bright, right? We're blending these things downwards across and into the night. Remember, the more paint that you have around the back, the longer and the further it's going to spread. Right? We're just going to do this one guy, and then we'll put in one more little bit. Pretty sure. Oh, isn't that so pretty? Again, I can take this, drag it out, just by not adding any extra paint, just pushing harder as I'm spinning my little milky tea mixing chocolate milk mixer, whatever we liken it to today. There, isn't that fabulous? Now, I'm seeing one more spot, right? How many hours do you want to sit and play with your cloud? Because eventually, you're going to put on too much paint, right? You're going to cover up too much. You're not going to have any of the dark black canvas shining in between these areas. And that's going to be too much. And then you're going to be like, oh, right? But in that moment, you're going to learn something as well, that you don't have to do too much. You don't want to pay attention to these things too much. Because if we do, it's just going to make it, or make us, more angry, right? So make it strange, make it odd, make it weird, and then don't pay too much attention to it. Very cool. Oh, I like that. Very neat. Now remember, if we want a good amount of wave and sand, then we can't come down too far on our sky, right? But what if we had, just, and it's about the only time I ever hold it like a pencil, is when we kind of scrape in one of these little flat little dewars, just like that. Boom, right? However we feel. And then I'm going to make my horizontal, or my counterclockwise little circles, but we're doing them more horizontal than holding the brush vertically. Because if I hold it vertically, it's going to try to drag more color down. And so if I want them to be horizontal, I'll just make my horizontal ovals, or my counterclockwise little ovals horizontally, right? Dragging out different things. And I go, you know what? Maybe I want to have a little touch of brightness right on the top of this guy. Bang, right there. Just one little spot, right? If you do it everywhere, it overtakes everything. And then you got to do another spot of brightness and then another spot, because you keep putting it too many places, right? It almost looks like it's blurry. Oh, that's cool. I like that, dude. Little spot in front of it right there. Right? Again, how many times you're just constantly rotating back and forth between these guys, and now it's too flat on the top. So what if I could come up here and almost allow it to touch, right? Each time we can choose what we want it to look like, how far we want it to wrap around the canvas and such. Oh, that's looking cool. Okay, so now we're going to grab our palette tool. We're going to get the smallest little amount of paint you can possibly put on the blade, okay? And then we're going to make our horizon, but the horizon in this one, instead of being on the right-hand side, is on the left-hand side, even though we're going to have a right-hand crashing wave, which is a left side crasher. It's all backwards, you guys. It doesn't make sense when I explain it. You're just going to have to watch, literally. I always say, anyway, like a wave that crashes to the left, right? That is a right-hander's wave. A wave that crashes to the right is a left-hand person's wave. It's always easier for a righty or a lefty to do it. Now, normally when we do a righty's wave, which is crashing to the left, of course, our back ocean is back here. But in this case, something brand spanking new from the Paint with Josh show. We're going to come way up here, like flat along our horizon. Oof, little thing, little bit. And then you guys have to tell me if that is a straight, flat horizon, right? We do not want everything in the back to be as bright as we always are, right? So we just need a little indication. So we start kind of right of center, and then we start dipping down and dipping down and dipping down very lightly. So we're at a lower spot than we normally are, right? Now this guy, he can just flatten off into the skinniest little line that you've ever seen, because he's going to disappear behind our crashing wave, okay? So now we're going to come up to the edge, and we're going to scrape back and away to the left, right? Horizontally to the left. You do not have to get the back of the horizon as bright as the front of the horizon. So quite honestly, the back of the horizon is invisible. that means you don't have to have a straight line in this guy. It does not have to be as bright in the back as it is in the front, right? We always have to remember that it's never going to be the same amount of brightness all the way in the distance, 10 miles out, as it is right close to us, right? So now we're going to change everything that you've ever seen with a Paint with Josh painting. And I don't even know how. I'm doing it, I'm making it up live right here in front of you as we're going to do it, okay? So the very first thing that I would think I need to do is come up into that cloud. You know, I've got to get this tall with this crashing wave. And then we're going to come down here and flatten off. And then we'll kind of bring that guy down as well. God, that's going to be humongous, way up there, which means my line goes over to that side. All right. You guys wanted it. You wanted it. Okay, I'm going to take this palette tool. Remember, all this disappears. It's all gone. Well, there shouldn't be anything there anyway, right? It should be very faint, so we should be able to wipe it away. Oof, where did that line go? Okay. We're going to come way up here. I'm quite honestly serious. And we're going to tap in, just like we do with our waves. Okay, I just want to give myself a little line. And then we're going to go up in front of that other wave. Oh, it's there now, dude. It's not going anywhere. Oh, and then we're going to come down. We're going to stay right along the edge of that guy, basically. Oof. And then, of course, where'd that line go? My initial line. And we're going to go over and down like that, right? That is a crashing wave. So, remember, we've got our horizon back there. That means we're going to very lightly fill back a little bit of space off the one side. This side's going to be the rolling, crashing side that's rolling up. That's the eye. Oh, goodness. And then we've got all this crash into tons of splash. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you are ready. Now let's do it like we normally do. Let's get in here with our titanium white on the edge of our little fan brush. We don't need too much, right? We want to brighten up a little spot underneath this guy. Now, it doesn't have to be enormously big, okay? The more paint that we put up there, the brighter it's going to be. So I want to put a little paint up here, and then we're going to push it about as close to that line as we can possibly get. Remember, if we move that line or hit it, that's okay. We don't really need it too much. It's just kind of an outline for right now. Right now, I'm going to get back in there with more titanium white up at the top so that it's brighter up there and should fade into a darker color the more we mix it. Right, the more paint that's up there, the more, oh man, that's gonna look so cool. The more is going to grow, remember. So if you've got a ton of paint up there, it's going to grow like crazy. Take a little bit more white, just right up there, just so it can be as bright as possible. Oh man, that's cool. That is neat. Now, remember, we've got our line. Actually, let me put in something, just a visual aid, right? That's about where our water is gonna end, pretty much, and that's where our sand is overtaking, right? So we've got to get all this action to about right down where that blue and the brown sort of meet, right? Doesn't have to come all the way out here. We could even put it way back in here, right? Depends on how big you want to go. Ah, that looks so cool. Now, one more thing before we get too far away. In between this area, we've got to shrink it down, right? So we'll get our white on there, our titanium white, and shrink it down so we've just got a little dark separation in between, that little dark drop shadow, as the tattooists call it, I figured out. Now, we'll come in here. I don't want a lot of paint up there. So if anything, very light amount on the blade. And then I can come down here and I can tap in more. So there can be more of that ridge of paint right here. That way, when we drag it down, oh man, that's gonna look cool. That is gonna look cool. And again, tapping, tapping, tapping. I'm only caring about the front edge of the water itself, right? And it can kind of be, it's a wave, right? It can be wavy. It can be a little wavy. Just tapping it in, and then up there, we're not even really going to worry about it, honestly. Holy cow. That is cool. Okay. Now, I'm going to wipe off my blade, okay? Just like we always do, I'm going to attach it on, and depending on the angle of the wave, you see how the handle has to turn so that the top of the blade matches, right? So it's here, and then it's over there, and then it's down here, and it's constantly back and forth. So we're going to match up the angle. We're going to roll it down, littlest bit. Oh my God, that looks so amazing. Just trying to use the back of the blade, okay? This one's going to roll down further than any of our eye. And Oh, I just looked back and saw it. Oh my word. See how we're getting flatter over here, and then we're gonna roll up and then go changing and rolling down and boom. Holy shaving cream, you guys. That is stinking fantastic. I don't know what else to say. That is a wave. Good God. Now, hey, thanks for joining the Super Squad. Dude, no wonder my tattoo keeps feeling irritated because look at how much I just rolled down. I can't get it to stay back far enough. There we go. I know. I need a tank top or like a scrunchie. You know what I mean? Whatever the cheerleaders would do on the top, or like a little bandana or whatever it was. I can't remember. Oh, this is gonna be so cool, you guys. Look at this, right? The water's rolling down. It's gonna, obviously, we're gonna have about that same amount of space in splash. So that's gonna bring us down to about right there is where our water's gonna hit. And then all this we can cover up. It's gonna be perfectly fine. Okay, so let's get in here. Let's grab ooh, you know what? We need more liquid white. Let me grab my liquid white, just a little bit of it out into my jar. You guys just check in. Let me know where you're watching from out there. All right, this one is literally different than all other PaintWithJosh waves in existence. So if you like having the first of the line, basically, this is like a new minting, right? And this new minting is going to produce a lot of new seascapes that are like this, much more dramatic and crazy, right? So we got Gainesville, Oklahoma, Connecticut, right? Debbie, you just quit it over there. Terrell, Texas, or Terrell, Oklahoma, Puerto Rico, Ohio, Kansas, UK, San Francisco, Colorado, UJ? Where's UJ? Was that a typo? UK, Kentucky, Ontario, New York, or Orlando, Florida, UK, there it was. So Ireland, Poland, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Scotland, Montana, Birmingham, Alberta, Kentucky over there, Georgia, North Carolina, Puerto Rico over on YouTube, Sweden, Louisiana, Norway, Ontario, Canada, España, okay, Wisconsin, we got another Spain, Malaysia, Eureka, Missouri, London, UK. You guys are watching from literally everywhere, dude. It's insanity. How many followers we have literally everywhere. It's crazy. So I'm going to take a little touch of my liquid white, right? A little bit of liquid white. We're going to come over here and put it with our titanium white, and we're going to make it about a 50-50 mix. And that way we're going to get our really cool breaking water. You guys are going to be so neat. So now, remember, okay, actually, let's get back in here first. Let's grab one little touch of our pure titanium white, just the smallest bit, little tiny roll out onto the end. And based on where our horizon is back there, right, kind of cutting down through, I would imagine we would have a couple little bits floating off. See how they're kind of coming down at an angle, but they're then flattening off, right? So you get this flat water look in the background, right? So now it's almost like our horizons are connected, right? They don't have to be completely perfect, but close enough anyway. Then we'll get back in here with our titanium white. Now it's up to me how scraggly and broken and crazy I want this water to be, or how crisp you want it, right? Sometimes leaving it just like this and by adding a very small amount and just kind of thickening this line up a little bit, and you can make it look like it's just breaking very slightly, right? And it's nice and crisp and crazy. Or you get in there with a slightly bigger brush. I actually don't want to have it start breaking until right down here. And then boom, very small little taps, hugging against our design right here versus going down too far. Remember, this paint is going to grow. And so we're just kind of slapping up into it, holding it very flat, and then hitting it and let the brush, boom, like you can even see it right here. It's bending up until it hits that white paint. And so we'll come over here and come over there and boom, 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 splash it on. Now remember, all these little tip tappers are gonna grow depending on how much paint we have out there, right? So if we start to massage this paint too much, it's going to grow too terribly big, right? So we have to be very, very light-handed, but get very flat along the bottom here, right? It's already hit. Up there has not hit yet. Oh, it's so stinking cool. I always go up above my horizon too. Just helps push back into the distance more of that paint, right? And if I wanted to, get my splash up taller, and have all these crazy little things happening, right? That is a wave, you guys. Holy shaving cream. Literally. I'm going to come back one more time. A lot of times we have to do it 2 times, right? Because the first time we don't know how much paint to put on. It kind of mixes and gets lost and too dark and this, that, or the other, or whatever. We didn't put on enough, right? So we go back and we do it again. Very lightly, though, this time. I don't even want to get every space, right? Sometimes we're going to miss complete areas purposely. Missed it. Whole thing. That way, when we come in with our spray at the end, which is just going to be, oh, it's going to be fantastic. I can already see it, right? When we come in with that guy, oof, you guys are in for a treat. Just want you to know. Very, very, very small little things happening back there. Oh, you can really see the S shape now, can't you? I always talk about that S-shaped curve. Anybody ever hear me talk about that? Ever hear me talk about the S-shaped curve? Drop it down. I just want to cover up some of that. That's it. Right where see, I had my first line going too far, so it was trying to show through in there. And we get that little bit of water or just a little bit of broken like that, right? Which is why you can always go back and add more, right? It doesn't always have to be everything you thought of on the first one. Very cool. So let's take a quick little merch break, just real fast. We'll get back on track and let me get something to drink real quick. So you guys hang out throughout this quick commercial break. Let me know if you like this one, right? Type it out right now. Like, do you like this action? Do you like the way that we normally paint them? And we should have a fair amount of comments by the time that we come back. So we'll see you in a few seconds after these words. Hi, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio. Did you know that along with oil painting classes, we also now do acrylic painting classes? Oh, it's going to be fantastic. You can either come right down here into the studio and I supply all the supplies. You leave with a really cool painting, or we can link up via virtual class and do a video call like Zoom. It's going to be fantastic and you're going to end up with something like this. All you have to do to book one of these Paint with Josh acrylic classes is either go to the Paint with Josh app or go to the site, find the acrylic class, book your day and your time, and we're going to have a great time. Now, let's get back up to the show and see what we've been doing up there. Let's see what we've been doing over there. Who is this guy? I don't know why you guys watch me, honestly. Let's get over here. Take that very wet, liquidy white, titanium white mix, right? And, I mean, if we're going to do it like we always talk about, if I draw a straight line through the tip of the wave, through the eye, through the crash, boom, to right here, that's where it's telling me the back of the water is. So now I'm cutting through some of my spray, right? That stuff doesn't matter. We need to make a mess in front of that stuff, right? And by the time we get down here, these guys should be pretty parallel in the line, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, we don't want to match it absolutely perfectly, but holy cow, dude, if we, I'm just staring at the canvas, like, if we were to reflect that, like the splash into the water, what is that going to look like? I'm going to have to figure that part out, see if we even have enough space anyway, but that would be kind of cool. So again, we're just kind of mushing on that very liquidy white, titanium white paint. I'm going to get in front of my line over here, kind of on top of it, and just push down harder, which will extend it down. Again, leaving more and more and more of a weird, messy space back there, right? That's all you really want. It's a weird, messy area so that we can take the paint and drag it backwards up into the wave, right? If we don't have enough paint down here, then we're not going to be dragging very far, are we? We want to have enough of that mush, which is why I usually do about 2 to 3 lines. So this will be the third one where I'm getting down, I'm extending it out, right? We're creating more space in between where the wave is crashing and where the front lip of the water is, right? And the more times you do that, the less chance you're going to reflect any of that spray. We can always go back and put it in, but down here, boom, boom, boom. So we should have a good 2 fingers of junk behind this now front lip, which doesn't even have to be perfect, right? Because we're going to put in our sand and then have to fix that front lip anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as we like it, literally. Boom, boom, boom. Come out, down, come out, down. What do you feel like it should look like today? God, that looks cool. I'm already liking it. That is neat, dudes. Okay, so now one of 2 things is going to happen. You can either take your fan brush right? And take this paint over and make it very soft and velvety. You know what I mean? It becomes very soft. Or if you want to use your palette tool, it's going to be very clumpy and very messy, and it might look a little bit more real, right? So it's all up to you. If you want to soften any of these little bits, just very lightly drag across them, right? But let's just say for the fan brush sake, right? You're taking the paint that's already here, just pushing it a little harder as we get up and into the wave, right? What do you feel like? Because it's got to rotate more and more and more as it gets in here. So tighter and tighter and tighter circles, but each time we're taking a step up. You know what I mean? Each one of these is going to get a little flatter as it rolls out, right? But it's up to you. And with your fan brush, what do you feel like it should look like, right? Because all we're doing is painting that foamy stuff that's floating on top of the water, which is why you can also use your palette tool and have it a little bit more heavier, a little chunkier. But that takes practice, right? So I always suggest, I mean, even here, right? You're doing the same things with the palette tool, following up those same lines, making a big old patch and a big old mess and a thing here and a thing there, right? And whatever it starts to look like, don't worry. As long as you're following along those lines, right? And those same little angles, come up here and mush it and help it blend in. Start getting up there and just let it fade out or grab onto the top and show that it's flowing up to the top and then changing direction and going the other way, right? This one's got a lot more flowiness than any of the other paintings that we've ever done. A lot more rotation, right? We're normally not getting more than that amount of rotation in the wave, but in this wave, it's going to be rolling almost all the way around by the time we get in here, right? So seriously, like the time we're in here, we're going to be almost touching, like oh my lich. That looks cool, dudes. Again, come down, roll it down, right? You got to follow along the angles, turn it, and then fill it. Fill it, fill it, fill it. Look at this wave. Oh, you guys, it's going to be so cool. That's going to be so cool. I'm going to change where the water's coming from. Rotate. Here we go. Boom, 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 right? And then we're going to get a little bit taller. Here we go. We're going to start to fade out. See how my brush is doing, or my blade is doing? Oh, dudes, is this not the most amazing? Because remember, we can get way up here into the eye. This wave is at a different angle than any, we're looking more down the barrel here than we ever are on any of the other paintings. Right, so if you got a straight line, just put a little hump at the end, a little whip, little here, little there, or make it bigger. You know what I mean? Make it more noticeable. Make it a mess, because all it is a whole bunch of stuff floating. Oh my word! Have you guys not picked this one up yet? I mean, I'm not going to let it hurt my feelings, but it's hurting my feelings, you guys. This one remains available. Are you kidding? We can even get smaller in there. Oh. That's the whole best part too. They don't have to connect, you know what I mean? You can have a whole big thing up into the eye, rolling over the edge. Yeah, that looks gorgeous. Dude, it's rolling up and becoming all the foam on the top. Dude, I like this one, you guys. This one is neat. We don't want to do it too much. And you're going to do the same things with your fan brush, right? It's just less textured-y, less really, I mean, more soft, more like silk. You want to have a nice soft, I've done them many, many, many times. You know how long it took me to do this? To like figure out how much paint and how much pressure and how much practice I needed in order to make it flow off of the palette tool backwards, right? Because normally you would touch this way and pull down your mountain, but in a seascape, we're going backwards, dude. Off the edge of the blade. Bang. Oh, that is so cool. So, since I missed the... I said, by the way, if you guys hung out till the half-hour mark, that I would ask you guys the second topic, the second weird topic of the Paint with Josh show tonight. So if you're ready... Oh, it looks so good. So if you're ready for that, right after this commercial break, we'll come back. We'll talk about the shower thing London was talking about. So you can just imagine hearing that crash. I feel you. Crazy, right? This Robert, this is the first one that I've done like this. I was saying that earlier in the show, that this is going to change the shape of the wave forever because of how tall we came up over the horizon and everything else. I've already got ideas on how to do it on white canvas as well. And so it's going to be cool. But yeah, this is the first one we've done like this. So you guys hang out after this quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back after these words. Holy cow, did you see with all of our new setup and all of our new equipment that we can actually see I'm talking about all of your comments. So not a single comment will get missed, nothing gets lost. I can see them on the television. And London right back here is checking everything out on the computer. So comment, comment, comment. It helps much more than you might think and helps boost engagement and gets us out to more people. So let's get back to the show and see what we got going on up there. This painting, I can't stop looking at it, you guys. Honestly, I am flabbergasted by my own work, which is wild. Okay, let's get a little touch of the liquid white. Try not to spill it on my pants, that would be great. We're gonna take about another 50-50 mix of our liquid white, titanium white. All right, so we'll mix these guys up. Don't you love those? Honestly, I can't stand those guys and their stupid cars next door. Not next door to me, like those guys are cool. But the people across the street, they have like a performance shop, and all I hear is like, how small is my wiener? Like, it's all I hear. Like, dude, come on. Aren't you an adult now? Like, hello. Is that this painting? See, all we had to talk about was, you know, loud cars, apparently. Seriously, who got this one? Was it this painting, Lynn? It is this painting. And if Robert was asking if this is the first, yep, it is, Robert. I had a feeling if he was asking, is this the first one you've done? That means he wants it. So let's get right underneath our moon, right underneath our wave, and leave a little spot. And let's just drop down some of this shininess. Now you can see I've gotten 4 or 5 or 6 little swipes out of that very small roll of paint. It's because I'm not trying to deposit it all in one go. I'm almost trying to scrape it and just deposit the smallest amount on there, right? Because the more I put on there, the more it's going to want to grow down into my brown. And if I get too far into my brown, then I'm going to have like light tan sand, which during the day, sure, would look gorgeous, right? But we're not out here in the day. We're out here in the night. And so we need it to not go as far, right? That way we'll keep our kind of wet, shiny area in front of our wave, and then we'll have our nice dark sand, right? Now remember, we're keeping a gap in between because it's very, very, very easy to come up and grip this painting or grip that wave above in a way that you don't want to, okay? So we take our brush, and hold it up here, push down, pull, right? If I pull down too hard, then it's really gonna interact with that sand. And so when I do this, I like to ask you guys just real quickly, does this look like wet, sandy beach? Just answer in the comments now. If not, tell me what you think it looks like. Right? We get lots of stuff. We get waterfall, we get curtains sometimes, ice wall from Game of Thrones, glacier, ice, reflection, all sorts of stuff, right? So what do you think? Pause for comments. See, we got no reflection, waterfall, edge of a cliff. I like that. All right. Would acrylic be the same? Absolutely not the way that I'm doing it. I do teach acrylic paintings, just a couple of them, and I'll show you that. I mean, this is a very good example of an acrylic painting. What was my question, by the way? What was I just saying? Oh, does this look like wet, sandy beach? I can't believe I got distracted from that. But this is an acrylic version, right? So you can still get that shininess, but it is a much different technique of doing it than the oils for sure. So we do get waterfall and glacier and all that, but what if I turn these verticalities into some horizontalities? Does this look a lot more like that wet sandy beach that we all know and love? Right? That shiny area in front of the sand. God, if it doesn't, I don't know what you're looking at, honestly, because to me it sure do. Look at that. Now the more that you let it interact with that brown, right, the more you will start to notice that light color in your brown. If that happens, you get more brown on your brush by coming down here into the deep darkness. And then you can push it backwards and shrink it however you want, by however dark it is. That's all that really matters. Now, if you allow it to do that, then you'll have a little bit brighter brown sand, which will stand out a bit more versus looking like, you know, just black volcanic sand, right? So you guys are completely in control of what's happening with your paintings, and it never has to look exactly like mine, right? Now, the cool part is we come out here with that liquid white, titanium white, and this damn shirt. Look what, see what I mean? I put the lotion on, and it's all flaky again. It's after like an hour. Okay, so we're gonna come out here, try to trap in all of that stuff. And it doesn't even have to be a thick line. It doesn't even have to be a connected line, right? It can break, it can be thinner, it can be bigger. All it is a little bit of that fish pish, we call it, right? Those bubbly things of pee, fish pee, that just hang out right at the edge of the water, right? Like it comes up and it stops and then deposits that stuff right out on the end, and it seeps its way back to the ocean, right? We're going to take our fan brush very lightly, dragging very horizontally just to leave a little shine on that water, right? It's the same thing. That is an acrylic thing. If you have a light enough amount of paint on your fan brush and you go back and forth just lightly enough times to leave those little horizontal streaks like that, then you're going to end up with something like this guy, right? So you can, if you look closely enough, you can see the streaks, you can see the stuff, and there's just not enough paint on there to cover the whole black canvas, right? So very small amount when we're doing acrylics, slightly more when we're doing oils, but again, very small amount. Doesn't that look like a little sandy beach, you guys? I think so. I don't know about you guys, but I think so. If you guys don't think so, then you're just crazy. All he is. So remember, this painting wraps around, completely around this Pro Series canvas, and you can have it. You can't actually, because Robert already has it. I'm just so out of just habit. That was complete habit, took over, and was like, all right, last push to sell the painting. Here we go. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, so one more thing we got to do. Fix this. Stop laughing at me. Yeah, yeah. London's like, don't worry, Robert. We'll get it to you. Josh doesn't know what he's talking about. It's fine. We're gonna shrink down our little dark separation, right, so that it becomes smaller. And the smaller it is, the more it's going to stand out and like it's lifted above the land, right? Like the water is not just flat into the land. You got to have a little shadow underneath there, and then you're gonna decide how big you want your shadow to be. So if I want it to be smaller, then I've got to get in there, and just try not to cover it, because this color that I'm scraping on and this color underneath are very, very close together, right? They're very similar in their color. So if I allow one to touch, we might not notice or be able to tell the difference in what is what anymore. You know what I mean? If we're allowing these two colors to come together, then who's to say why, like, what is it? You know what I mean? Is it land or is it water? We've got that little separation in there to tell us where the water is and where the land is and where they are separated, right? That's the cool bit. And then you shrink it down as much as you want, as big as you want. Let's say you accidentally cover over too much. You're like, oh, what am I gonna do now? You know what I mean? It's okay, just don't allow it to happen everywhere. Now what happens if we did that and we allow it to scrape through? We allow it to connect on over here or over there or whatever, right? It's all up to us. Literally, I'm gonna get a little bit more of my liquid white, a little bit of my titanium white together, just so it flows a little bit. Right? Just come in here, we can even scrape it down. They don't even all have to go the same, right? As long as we don't lose the separation in every place, right? Then we'll be okay. If we lose it across the board and we can't tell, right? Then we're gonna be in trouble. If we're in trouble, nobody's having fun. Yeah! Look at that, dude. Seriously. This makes it seem like, right, all of this stuff is feeding back, headed back to that wave. And then, oh, man. Is that not fantastic? What's the best title? Not sure yet? Like as in... Oh. Not sure, but you could call it not sure yet, like shore. Hey, I'm a thinker.
It was just funny.
Yeah, like What's the title? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There we go. A couple little bits, and then again, I want to purposely drag through some of those areas so that it's not this perfect thing, right? Again, I don't want to lose every bit of dark separator out of all those little guys, but allowing it to kind of flow more naturally out there. And then if I wanted to, honestly, we could come back in here and make a fatter line with this stuff and turn it into, now the water is coming in, you know what I mean? And not, this isn't fish pish anymore, this is all water right here. So what do you feel like it should look like on a day like today? Right? Allow these little guys to drag off very slightly off the back. Boom, 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 boom. Brighter it is on the front, the more close it's gonna be to us. Doesn't that look cool? That looks cool, guys. Seriously, dudes. Okay, so Robert, we're going to have to come up with a title, and that means, guys, he normally allows people watching the show to come up with the titles for the paintings that Robert buys. So what do you think this painting should be called, or would be called, if you had painted it, right? If you were like, you know what, this is my masterpiece, I want to call it this. Type it in the comments, because Robert might choose your title. Or if he allows me to choose, then I might end up choosing your title. But we're not going to know it if you don't tell us what it is. We're going to come back in here under the wave, and or under the moon. Yes?
Hey, Josh, I'll let you name it.
Oh, no.
I'm in a hotel with crappy internet. It keeps dropping.
Oh, no. Excellent. Thank you, Jody. Jody is the master of the account, I think. You know what I mean? If Jody likes it, then Robert's like, cool, I'm getting it. If Robert likes it, he's got to go check with Jody first. And that's the sign of a good marriage, Robert, I'm telling you. Look at that, dudes. Oh, okay, so Robert's having internet trouble. He's got the painting, but we've got to come up with a title for it as a group together, right? So you guys start hitting me with your titles. What do you think we should call this one? I can't believe we did this whole big canvas in an hour, and we've done smaller canvases that take 90 minutes. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that part. And everyone's favorite part, the splashing water and sandy bits, are coming up right now. What's up? What was it? Call it midnight. Oh, Tracy. I don't even want to say that. This is a family show. Just in case, the second time. What do they call it in that show Bridgerton? They call it a pinnacle. Like, have you reached your pinnacle? And they're like, because they're all proper and they don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't. And all the women, like, they just get. I swear to God, go watch the show. Yeah, have you reached pinnacle? And they're like, I think so, because they don't know. So, in either case, let's get in here, and we're going to start very lightly. I think I killed London. We're going to start very lightly, flicking little bits of water, right? They're allowed to go everywhere. They're allowed to reach their pinnacle and spring up into the sky above. Oh, God, that looks cool, right? The more we throw on there, the more it's going to cover up all of our little brush details. So you have to decide how many details you want to show on your thing, right? Like, do you want to cover up a lot of stuff because you don't like how it looks brushed out? Or do you like your brushed out look and you don't want to cover up too much of it? Because the more that you spray on here, the more you're going to cover up. We also have to back up and start launching them into the sand. I'm always much, much, much further away when we're doing the sandy bits than when we're doing the watery bit, and then move. Don't just stay in one place. If you do, it will look like it. It will look like you just sat there and tried to make one little spot brighter, when in fact you have to make like a big circle all the way around, and then until they're equally flicked. There we go. Cool. We'll even toss the sand around the side. Over here for Roberto, grabbing this painting. I love you. You and Jody, you're fantastic. Okay. So, I've got to come up with a title for it, right? Yeah, okay. So you guys type it in. Thanks, Anna. She's like, your tattoo is bad A. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate you. I have no muscle definition anymore now that I'm 40. I figured I either need to just never show anyone my arms or go to the gym. One of the two. I think never showing my arms is easier. I'm gonna do that. I mean, do I really have to be buff? I'm a painter. Like, I'm not a constructor. I'm not swinging like a pickaxe. Like, this brush is like not even 1 pound. You know, what? No wonder I'm so weak. There we go. Okay, so you guys hit me with those titles, man. And the best title is going to get picked for Robert's painting. So, look at how, like, it's all peeling and just angry. It's like pieces of my sweater attached to it. So let us know. Look at this wave, dudes. One thing I was going to do previously and I didn't was shrink the dark separator between the eye and the actual wave. I don't want it to be a crazy big line, but I don't want it to be too thick of a dark separator either. You know what I mean? So you run the risk of making it, like, making this area too big there. That's fabulous. Fabulous. Absolutely my new favorite of all waves. Very cool. Very cool. We're going to throw one little bit of brightness there. Just so it's flowing up, flowing over, and yeah, that one came out fantastic, dudes. There. Okay, so let's hit me with those titles, and we'll see if you get chosen. When you do that, when you're like this, and your arm like shakes a little bit, See, it's like I was telling London earlier. It's like when you're watching like sea ice, like a wave roll in underneath the ice, and it like cracks in a bunch of places. That's what my tattoo feels like. There we go. Okay, so I did have for the second show an Oregon seascape planned, a little bit smaller on the waves, but you got to prep it for the Oregon coast. All right, so you guys know what that looks like. And if you don't and you want to paint along, I can show you at the end of the show what the next prep for the next show is going to be. But this one came out stellar. So what do we got for title? Midnight Crush, Silver Tide, Misty Night, Midnight Waves, Midnight Pinnacle, High Tide in the Moonlight. I like that too. You guys are like literally, like, you guys like publish poets out there? Honestly? Let's throw the birds over here this time and just go caw in the night. I love it. Fabulous. So cool. Cool. You know how many times I have to explain the birds like on the daily because we get so many new followers and they're like, birds don't fly at night, and I go, these ones do. Half the time I don't even have to tell them. It's people already in the comments are like, oh, they're his signature, they do this, blah blah blah.
Because I feel bad, I'm gonna have to send Randy's order out 2 boxes. I have 10 per.
Okay, let's see. Did I miss? Oh, the shower. Okay, use. London, we could have got past the whole thing without the shower thing. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. And again, let me pick a title first, and then we'll talk about it. Misty Moonlight, Black Sand Serenade. It's very cool. So how do I purchase this one? This one's already sold. London's about to type back to you. I just saw it. But we do have others similar, not exactly like this, or in this color, or in this shape, but I will be doing more as the time comes. Pinnacle Tides. Let's call it that. Okay, so while Nate, can we pin Pinnacle Tides, and then I'll tell you about the shower story. That's not a story. It's more of a interactive conversation between you and I, because I'm going to ask you guys too. Okay, so let's see. Pinnacle Tides. I like. That is cool, dudes. Okay, so since I freshly got a tattoo, okay, I am standing in the shower, much more noticing that as the water is hitting me, and I'm trying to keep my tattoo away from the shower, right? So the water's hit, it's like I can feel every droplet that rolls down slowly, you know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there going, okay, like in my shower anyway, the water comes out from here. Can I see what I look like on the thing? And like the views. Okay, so I get into my shower, right? The door's right here. So I open up the door. Here's the shower head coming out. So I climb in. I'm getting hit in the face with water instantly. So I turn this way, right? Shut the door. So now the water is hitting me like this, right? So the question was, how do you stand when you're in the shower, right? Like, do you just stand and just look right at it? Like, you know what I mean? Or do you stand facing away from it? So now the front of your body is cold, right? Because it's not getting that blast of water. Because me, I don't know about you guys, but I stand sideways. I don't know the two people I told this to say that I'm weird. So I want to know how you guys stand. Do you stand staring into the water, right? Looking away from, or for me, I stand sideways because if you think about it, the water's coming out, it's hitting my shoulder, it's going down half of the front of me and half of the back of me. And then I can turn this way and allow it to warm up this side and get this front half and this back half until I'm cold. And then I turn. So I just figure out that this is what I'm doing in the shower. I'm just constantly, it's not this fast, but you stand sideways. See, I'm not the only one. Like, who just stare into the, right, I'm like a rotisserie chicken. Thank you, perfect. See, so I'm regular.
That's why we can't do it as women.
Okay, but no, I mean, you stand far enough away. No, but you stand, yeah, but you stand far enough, you don't have to be like this, but it's like far enough away that it's hitting your shoulder, right? And sure, you might get like a little speck or two. Thank you, I appreciate you guys talking about the tattoo. But, oh, so you guys are like that? Sorry, for us to have bad backs, you guys are like, let me just get my back. And then I'll just, let me get my fronts. So now it's hitting you in the face, or like a waterfall as you're standing in the shower. Yes, exactly. Right. So I'm the crazy one for not allowing it to hit my face.
Rotate front to back, not side to side like a psychopath.
No, I rotate side to side. I sit in there, I let the water hit me on this side until I'm like beet red, right? And then I turn, I let this side get beet red. And then the next question, right? Because my shower's a little long. It's not like a perfect little square, right? It's like a rectangle. So I step away from the water. So it's like hitting my calves. You know what I mean? You're my idol. It's funny. So now I'm barely, like, now I got to rush to like scrub. And then I can look and go, okay, I'm like a car. All areas are covered. And now I can step back into the water on the side, obviously, wash off this side, and then turn and wash off this side. Let's see.
I just grabbed the shower. His name is
Call me Josh. So, true, right? I'm weird, perfect. That's a lot. A lot of people I would assume would think I'm weird because you guys are obviously just going like this, staring into the water. What? Thank you. Appreciate it. That's what I do. Because you don't have to step out. Well, no, because okay, so you guys are standing there with, let's say, the water at your back, right? It doesn't just hit your back and roll down. Some of it comes over the front, right? So you're like scrubbing. You can't tell because the soap's washing off of you. You're like, oh, I don't know if I got that spot or not, so I guess I'll have to try it again. No.
Of the shower do you get in and out?
The one closest to the faucet, not the door furthest away, right? So I have like I said, I have a rectangle shower, and if I'm looking at my shower, it's like this, like a rectangle, right? So this is where the faucet is, that's where the knob is to change the temperature, and that's the front door. And then of course there's a second door back here, but no, I never use that second door. Like right in, right out, the same entrance, same exit, and yeah, it's right. So I'm like right into the water. I don't have to like step into the back of the shower and feel like the cold spritzes hitting my legs as I get closer to the water. No, I go right into the lava and then I sit there. So let's see. This one's number 2333. 333, you guys. What was the title again? Pinnacle what? Tides? Pinnacle Tides, I think. How do you spell pinnacle? Is it two N's? P-I... Is it N-N? It is N-N. I'm trying to think back to like the Pinnacle golf balls. There was a brand called Pinnacle. There it was. I just saw it. Yeah, two N's. Pinnacle. 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 Okay. Pinnacle Tides. Shower jog. It was just one topic of conversation. This is, well, no, yeah. Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead, like the Showering Dead and the Talking Dead. It's we talk about it afterwards. There we go. Painted on Friday the 13th, and I can't believe we've spent 20 minutes talking about the shower story. That's insanity. Lucky you viewers, aren't you? I'm glad that at least people agree with me. I knew there would be at least a couple weirdos out there like me that would stand sideways in the shower, because to me it makes the most sense. We're getting the most area covered. I'm getting half of my front and half of my back, or at least 60% of both, right, in one go. You guys are like sitting there forcing your fronts or backs to be cold while I'm doing two things at once, right? That, smarty pants. What's up?
Can you just explain how you can buy the painting when the painting isn't finished?
Sure. Yeah, so this painting it was already purchased right in the middle of the show, probably before we even did all the stuff from here down. It was already purchased. When I go live, I put a listing up in the store, in my online store, PaintWithJosh.com, to whatever the canvas is. So this one said 24 by 30 inch, you know, crashing wave seascape, whatever I had written on the thing. And I put that right on the top of my website. So when you first go there, boom, you hit that very first painting, which never has a photo because I can hear myself on Instagram now. It's kind of, I'm sorry. Oh, that's weird. Okay. But yeah, so if you go to my website or use the Paint with Josh app, it's right there on the homepage. And so it's the very first thing you see, and it's always the painting that does not have a photo attached to it because we're doing it live, right? Every other painting that I've ever done has a photo attached to it because we've already finished those. And if we haven't finished this one yet, then that means it's available for you to get right there on the front, right? So it's almost like a race when I start to see who wants to grab this one. You know what I mean? Because there's always multiple people that want it, and it's really like a who can get there first and grab it, really. And so some of the times, no, right? Sometimes you're the only one that's looking at it. Some of the times not. So depends. God, that's cool looking. Okay, that one came out fantastic. I do have a really cool painting to do next. That one is available. So if you want to grab the next one, or if you want to set up your canvas to paint along with me on the next one, then it's going to look like this guy. It's a 24 by 24. So we're losing a couple inches on the top and bottom. And then we blacked out the whole bottom, you know, maybe 3/5 or 2/5 and 3/5 up here. It's less than half. And then we did our little rocky thing. So that's what we're going to paint next. It is also one of the big, nice Pro Series canvases. So it'll be a little bit more than our normal ones, but they display a lot better. You know what I mean? You have all this wraparound detail and depth on the wall, and they're really cool. So let's do the light party real quick for Robert, because this one's going to look amazing in a light party. I'm going to spin this light. London's going to, or I can go hit the other one if you need me to. What's up?
Gets out of the shower and then gets back in.
It's not that fast of a rotation, okay? But let me give you guys the flash warning for the light party, okay? So since the painting got purchased during the live show, we get to do a light party, meaning we're going to be flashing all sorts of crazy lights at the canvas, which is going to make it look strange and be very sensitive to people who are sensitive to that, right? So if you are sensitive to that, look away. Don't look at your phone for the next 10 to 20 seconds. I'll tell you that it is okay to look back when it is okay. If you're going to stay for the light party, you need to type in the words, "I'm ready," legally giving up all liability against Paint with Josh LLC. Type in the words, "I'm ready," hit send, shut your eyes. Because the longer that your eyes are closed, the more intense the light party will be on the painting, right? So hit "I'm ready," shut those eyesies. I mean, hit send first, and then shut your eyes. And then when I say the words "light party," we're going to open up our eyes, right? So right now, if you're out in public, you're probably being pickpocketed by someone because your eyes are closed. You should not be driving or operating a vehicle while we do the light parties because your eyes should be closed, right? And when we see enough "I'm readies," we're going to let it go in 3, 2, 1. Light party! So open your eyes and tell me the very first thing that flashes the most for you. Good God, look at that wave. Look, I can't even look anywhere else than the eye of the wave. and just how high it is cresting above the horizon. Good night. Wow. So we got fish pishes standing out. We got the moon, the shore, the birds. Right? Anybody over on the tubes or the book? The lower part of the wave. That's where I was looking to, right here. Bam, right? That spot right there initially stood out to me. Goodness gracious. The fish pish. I think people love that fish pish thing. Guys, by the way, we have fish pish shirts. Like if you like, you know, that fish pish saying, I have a t-shirt that says fish pish and it's got a little fish on it. Right? So we're going to bring it down in 3, 2, 1, and we're back to normal lighting condition. Okay. Then we're going to do one more thing that we call the RGB party, meaning that we're just going to put solid red light and solid green light and solid blue light on the painting separately, right? So there's no flashing, there's no chance of, you know, epileptic anything, right? Because it's just solid light. So if you were sensitive, you can now look back, and all I need you to do after seeing these 3 different colors is just tell me which one that you like the most. We're going to go blue in 3, 2, 1. Blue. That didn't work. Blue. There we go. The bluey makes it much more bluier, doesn't it? That's really neat. Really neat. Gonna go green in 3, 2, 1. Green. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be a cool looking wave in green too. Isn't that so neat? Goodness gracious. Gonna go red. This is gonna be fantastic. In 3, 2, 1. Red. Oh, look at it. Huh? Sorry? Oh, next painting in pink. Yes, London said. Next pinky purple. Wow. So red, green, or blue. We might as well bring these both down. There we go. You tell me. We're back to normal lighting conditions, and we're going to put the... You guys should see these studio lights I have now. Way outdo the old studio lights, that's for sure. Goodness. Yeah. So we got green. We got people that like blue. Blue and red, one says. Always red. That's the Paint with Josh team. Look, always red and tattooy and flaky. Ow. Dude, Robert, you want a piece of like tattoo scab in your painting? No, I know, it's foul. Ow, that's a big one back there. I can't. Ah, there we go. Sorry. Someone's out there watching like red for sure. I feel you on that one. The blue, don't touch it. I feel you on that too. Okay, you guys have been amazing. I love you all. Should we do the spinning? Robert, do you want to do the spinny winny wheel, or have you? Spin me the duffel bag, he said. That is the one prize that is too expensive to even gift on the spinny winny wheel, unfortunately. The backpack would be the grand prize. Or you could get the Paint with Josh joggers. Now, remember, from yesterday's show, it did hit the grand prize. So, chances are this wheel is a repeater, and it may happen again. You guys ready? Let's do it. Here we go. Oh, Josh wins, unfortunately. Hang on, I have a sound for that. Yep, I got that noise. Really, I think it's this one. Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't want to continue. It's like wah, 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 wah. It's supposed to have a couple more things. Hang on. Let me see. We did get the cha-ching. I think I just. Oh yeah, I got you one a long time ago. There's a fart noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But I'll give you another spin, of course, and hopefully, London will come back with the sound machine thing, and we can hear the wah, 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 wah. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Oh. Don't you do it. Oh, that was close. But it landed on a Paint with Josh fancy glass. I would suggest, I mean, it depends, right? If you want to get the beer glass, the 8-ounce like pub kind of style glass, that is cool, right? But I'm not even a wine drinker, but I have a little stemless wine glass that is just fantastic. So, either which one, you know what I mean? You'd be able to grab. I don't know if you've ever landed on that one before. You don't know where it is? Huh. You know, I feel that. So I will get you the code, Robert, if you send it over or contact me through Discord, send me a message and I'll get you over the code for the stemless wine glass or the 8-ounce like pub style glass. Beyond that, I can't wait to see, I can't wait to see your guys' versions of this painting. Please try it. God, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Like, get out there and let it rip and show me, right? Put it into the comments of the Facebook or send it in if you can. Sometimes we see the messages, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't see the comments, sometimes we do. So drop it in there until I see it. I can't wait for your guys' version, and can't wait to, oh yeah, exactly. So if you don't already have the Paint with Josh app, right, you're going to need to get the Paint with Josh app, and that way it will notify you right as we turn the cameras on, right? London sends out the notification, and then boom, we start the show. And so if you are ever late to the show, or maybe you're watching on a certain platform and that platform didn't notify you that we were going live, you know what I mean? Then you want that Paint with Josh app, and it's free. It's on the Google and the Apple app stores. Head over, grab it. We can't wait to come back. Maybe 7:15, if not 7:15 West Coast, 10:15 East Coast, then 7:30 West. Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am. Oh, download the app, and then you'll know when we're going to come back, right? So, yeah, beyond that, you guys have been fantastic. I can't wait to see you again on the next show. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out PaintWithJosh.com because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.